Get your boyfriend out of my house. I hate you. This girl's boyfriend practically lived at her house. He would come over after school. He would stay for dinner. Her mom would cook extra food. Normal teenage stuff. But then little by little, he started acting like it was his house. He'd walk straight to the fridge. What do we got in here? Apple juice, watermelon, salami. Open it. Take stuff without asking. And if he did ask, he would already have a plate in his hand, ready to eat. Some days he would look at his girlfriend and say stuff like, I thought your mom was making that chicken tonight. Or, hey, you guys gotta buy more ice cream. I ate the rest of it last time I was here. This kid could eat. He finished the last of the waffles. Drank all of that apple juice that I just talked about. He would empty all the bags of shredded cheese just by eating it like this. Finally, one day the mom pulls her daughter aside very calmly. Hey, listen, I'm happy he's here, but can you please ask him to stop treating my kitchen like his kitchen and to have some respect? But then the daughter would say, you're seriously counting the food we have in this house? He's just really hungry. What do you want him to do about it? And this got to the mom's head because she wondered, is she being the unreasonable one? But I'm gonna tell you right now, Miss Lady, no. Your daughter and her boyfriend need to get a grip. Am I right? New kid goes to school, tells everyone he's rich. Yeah, I got a mansion and a home theater and a giant pool with a water slide. Wow, do you have a basketball court? No, I have an indoor basketball court. That's crazy. He told people his family had 3 staircases because his house was that big. People believed him because why wouldn't they? And whenever people asked, why don't you ever invite anybody over? He always had an answer. The house is being remodeled. My parents also don't like that many people over. And people eventually started treating him like he's royalty. Then one day the school takes a field trip. This kid's sitting on the bus, once again talking about his mansion, talking about the movie room, the big gate that opens up so you can go up the driveway. The bus driver is hearing all of this, and he starts smiling because this bus driver knew this kid from a different town he used to work in. He's also his bus driver in the morning, so he knows where this kid lives. He's an old family friend. So the bus driver's driving through town. He's hearing this kid talk. Then they're about to pass this kid's house, his actual house, a very normal house. Bus driver points out the window and says, hey Roger, there's your house. And there it is. Tiny house, definitely not a mansion. Wait, I thought you said you lived in a mansion, dude. Yeah, that's not a mansion at all. No, you got it wrong. That's not my house. Oh no, that's definitely your house. I've known his family for years. But he couldn't fix that. Everyone knew he was a huge, ginormous liar. And they stopped treating him like royalty and began treating him like a lying kid. Hey, nice try. This girl was spoiled. It was the first day of first grade. The teacher is letting everybody play with blocks, toys, coloring books, all that good stuff. Then after a while, she claps her hands and goes, okay, everybody, clean up time. The whole class then begins to put stuff away, except this one little girl. She's still sitting on the floor playing like she didn't hear a single word the teacher said. Teacher walks over smiling. Hi, sweetie, can you please help us clean up? The girl doesn't even look up. She just keeps playing. Honey, it's time to clean up. Then without looking up, the kid says, I don't clean things. The teacher's like, what do you mean? At my house, my maid cleans up for me. What time does your maid come in? Yo, what? Talk about spoiled. Teacher says, honey, we don't have a maid here, and if you don't start cleaning up now, you're gonna be in huge trouble. The kid then begins to freak out, goes to the principal herself. The principal calls her parents. Her parents come and pick her up, and her parents are mad at the teacher. That is messed up. This guy had a little penguin plushie hanging from his backpack, and it meant everything to him. A close friend who lives in another country gave it to him the last time he visited. It's like my favorite thing. So ever since then, it's stayed on his backpack. One weekend, he's at a family lunch. His 8-year-old nephew spots it immediately. Hey, can I see that? He lets him hold it for a second. A couple minutes later, the nephew goes, can I keep it? He smiles and says, no, but I'll buy you one just like it, and that should have been the end of it, right? No, instead the kid starts crying. He wants that penguin and that penguin only. Okay, at this point, it's causing a scene. The rest of the people at the party are looking at them. The kid's mom quietly says, hey, it's just a toy. This dude's sister says, he's only 8. Someone else goes, just buy another one. No! The whole reason that this penguin was so important to him was because of the person that gave it to him. He keeps saying no. The kid keeps crying louder. His sister pulls him aside. You really made a kid cry over a stuffed animal? Hey, listen, it's not my fault your kid never hears the word no. You guys made a spoiled brat I'm leaving. Peace. And he left that party. Now his entire family is furious with him. But in my opinion, he did nothing wrong. What do you think? This is out of control. When this neighbor's 16-year-old daughter crashes her bike into his car. Hey, what the heck? She immediately gets off, starts crying, and calls her mom. The scratch looks awful at first, but he takes it to a shop, and after a few minutes of buffing, it comes right out. No big deal. So he tells this girl and her mom, don't even worry about it. It was an accident. And he thinks that's the end of it. A couple days later, the mom texts him. My daughter still feels terrible, and she wants to apologize properly. Can we bring you over a cake? He says, sure. That sounds nice. Everybody loves cake. So they show up that evening, and this 16-year-old girl's holding a cake. The mom is standing a few feet behind her with a phone out. The girl starts apologizing. Here, again, I'm so very sorry. I take full responsibility for the scratch and for crashing into your car. Mom's behind her filming. Speak louder, sweetie. I take full responsibility. Okay. The mom then whispers, go ahead, now ask him if he accepts your apology. But that's when he notices the phone. Wait, stop. Are you recording this? Yeah, I'm gonna post it online. It's gonna teach a bunch of kids to take responsibility for their actions. It's like, what? I can even blur your face if you want. He looks at the girl and says, I accepted your apology the day it happened. Then turns to the mom and says, yeah, I'm not doing your stupid video. The mom immediately gets irritated, starts arguing with him. Oh my gosh, you couldn't even let us finish? Let us do the video? Then he just walks back inside. What a weird apology, because it wasn't for him or for the daughter. It was for the camera. The mom, I guess, wanted to go viral. Jeez, this kid had the weirdest job at school. He fixed people's reputations. See, anytime somebody embarrassed themselves, they would feel horrible. They would feel like everyone's talking about them. It wasn't a nice feeling. Like if someone was tripped in the hallway, called the teacher mom, threw up at lunch, everybody would spend the rest of the day talking about it, unless this kid got involved. Because what he would do is if he was paid enough money or given something valuable enough, he would start an even crazier rumor about somebody else. Not really mean rumors, just unbelievable ones that would make everybody forget what that one kid went through. Dude, you hear that one kid, Tyler, brought a turtle to class? No, it wasn't a turtle, it was a bag of turtle poop. And once something like that spread around, the previous embarrassment, the one the kid paid to get rid of, went away. And it worked brilliantly because people's attention spans are shorter than you think. When other people found out who this reputation fixer was, he began to have clients. People kept his phone number in their phone just in case they would ever need him. And a lot of kids did. Bro, you gotta help me. Text me the details, send me $15, and by lunch, you'll be good. He would then get the text, the money, he would disappear. By lunch, wow, kid's a genius. Gone. You gotta respect the hustle. My bike chain broke. Call Bike Boy. This neighborhood had this one kid. Everybody called him when their bike broke. He could fix anything. Flat tire, if your chain fell off, the brakes were wonky, call him. Hey, my brakes are wonky. I'm on 5th Street. You called the right guy. He showed up carrying this beat up old backpack. He drove a bike, and attached to the bike was this trailer thing that he would keep all his tools in, spare tires, chains. He had a bike pump. It was a mobile bike repair shop. He even made his own tiny business cards. Tyler's Bike Rescue, and his phone number. The entire neighborhood kept them in their wallets because you never knew when you needed them. Even parents would put these business cards on their refrigerator. Business started getting bigger and bigger. Suddenly, he wasn't just fixing bikes. He would install new grips, swap the pedals out for something nicer, adjust seats, improve the seats. He was now a bike repair and customization service. Every afternoon, there'd be 2 or 3 bikes flipped upside down in this kid's driveway, and he'd be working on them. People were paying him pretty good. And by the end of summer, Tyler, this random middle school kid, became the neighborhood's official bike roadside assistance and customization. You gotta respect the hustle. This kid figured something out about middle schoolers. If 10 people are standing in a circle looking at something, everybody else would come to look at it as well, and it didn't matter what it was. So one day he decided to test it. He grabbed 10 friends during lunch, and he said, guys, don't say anything, just stand here and look at the ground. Within 30 seconds, kids walk over. They're like, what you looking at? Is there a fight going on? 5 minutes later, almost 40 kids are trying to see what's happening, but it was nothing. That's when he realizes this works and he's gonna start a business. He begins to rent out crowds. Those 10 friends he had test this out with, those were his employees. So for example, hey man, I wanna sell candy at lunch today, but I'm not sure how to get people to see what's going on. can I rent your crowd? So he'd get his 10 friends to go over and stand by this kid selling candy. People would be curious, they'd come up, and they'd realize, yo, this kid's selling candy, we're here already, might as well buy some. Some kid wanted to put on a magic show in the hallway. Again, 10 friends came over. Suddenly, there were 60 kids watching one kid pull a rabbit out of a hat, although a rabbit was just his sock filled with tissue. The cost of this would depend on what you're trying to gather people for, but he actually made money from this, and his business was actually popular. It got to the point where everyone knew about this business, but they would still gather because they're like, what's it gonna be this time? And that's one of the smartest things I have ever heard. You gotta respect the hustle. There was a kid at school that sold pencils. Now, yes, it was a simple business, but he had one of these fancy, expensive pencil sharpeners at his house, and they sharpened pencils perfectly. Like, the wood around the lead was even. The point was as sharp as a pin. It's perfect. So every night he'd be in his garage watching his TV, sharpening these pencils, and then he would bring them to school the next day. He had this very carefully picked out pencil case that would protect the tips of all these pencils. The next morning, he would open it in class and show his classmates. I mean, I already have a pencil, but those look amazing. Something about how perfectly sharpened they were captured people's eyes every single time. He sold them for 50 cents each. And when he would hand these pencils over to the customers, they would hold on to it and look at it like they just bought something very expensive, very rare. Well, word spread, business began to boom, and people all around the school wanted his pencils, which is crazy to me because they could have just sharpened their own, but there was something about his. Some kids even bought them and refused to write with them because they didn't want to ruin how good they were. What? In total, he made around $400. He ran this for like a year, and then he stopped because he bought the pair of shoes he wanted. And what do I always say? Write it in the comments before I can say it. You gotta respect the hustle. This kid's family owned a carpet store, which meant their garage was full of carpet samples. Little squares that are all different colors and different textures. Little mini carpets. And now most people would have looked at these and saw worthless pieces of carpet, but he did not ignore it. He saw a business opportunity. So one Monday, he brings a stack of these carpet samples to school. He takes 2 and sets them on each side of his desk. And that, for that class, was where he put his elbows. Bro, what are those? Oh, these? They're desk carpets. They keep my elbows comfortable, all class period. And that's all he had to say. Immediately, people wanted these little luxurious desk mats. And he just starts charging $5, $2, honestly, whatever people had. Bag of chips? Sure, here's 2 squares. Enjoy your class. After a while of doing this, a bunch of students at that school were using these every single day. The more the demand went up, the more he charged for the nicer quality fabrics. Business was absolutely flippin' booming. In total, he made around $700, and then the school shut him down because that's what schools do. That's how you gotta think, and you gotta respect it.